to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T along with my man Brad Gilmore, and we got a very, very special guest. But hey, before we talk about this guest, he's going to be here on Wednesday, All Elite Wrestling, August 18th at the Fertitta Center. And I tell you, man, it's hot in Houston, but it's about to get a whole lot hotter. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, my man, Sammy Guevara. What's going on, kid?
Man, what's up, Book? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, man. Look at you now, bro. And I was thinking about that photo we took, and that was posted not too long ago. And you was like a little bitty kid, man. You've grown up, man. You're a grown man now. Talk to me about first getting into the business first and foremost, and what sparked the journey.
Well, that photo that went around for a minute, that was the first show I ever went to. And, I saw it when I was 11 years old, and I saw you versus Rey Mysterio, the first SmackDown I ever went to. And, man, it just seemed like the coolest job ever. And it is the coolest job ever, Getting to go and do all these amazing things in front of all these people. Pretty much all of it, from the promos to the in-ring, it all just, sparked my interest. And I trained at this school you might know of. Very great school. I'd recommend it. Oh wait, I think it's your school. That's
Yeah.
Trained over at your school. Got a whole bunch of knowledge there, and then just tried to apply that. Something you told us many years ago, and probably tell guys now. You give us the tools, but it's up to us to go out and use those tools. So I went out and tried to use the tools that you gave me.
Man, I still telling that to my students to this day, man. It's no shortcuts. There's no easy route, especially these days, because there's so many guys, young guys like yourself, trying to get into the business. But you seem to have navigated your way through a boatload of landmines. Talk to me about that, man. Making it to the next level. How did it happen for you so quick? Talk to me about that.
I feel like everything has happened quicker now that AEW has started, but I feel like everything before that was like a slow progression, getting opportunities here and there. First time I got to go get booked in Mexico, get to go to Canada, Japan, and just trying to grow my name as much as possible, as well as doing the YouTube stuff, just trying to show my journey and show a different side. So I was trying to attack it from all avenues, trying to do my best in-ring. If I got to do a promo, I try to do the best at that. And then also, use this tool that we have, which is the internet, and social media, and try to use those tools and just try to do everything I can to just try to grow the name. Yeah,
I always say that on the job training, you can't get that anywhere, man. Being able to go around the world and learn the craft. How important was that? Actually, not catapulting yourself right into a system, but actually getting a chance to go around the world and learn the craft of professional wrestling.
Man, it was so cool because I got to experience so many different things, the different styles, like in Mexico, how they do things compared to Japan or in the UK. And, as I'm doing it, I wish, I could have got catapulted to the top right away. But looking back, man, I wouldn't have wanted it any other way. And I'm happy that it took me as long as it did to get here.
Wow, man. I've seen so many young guys come through this business and get put in that position, like right off the bat at, 19, 20 years old. And it definitely could be an experience that you go, wow, am I really ready for this? So definitely getting that, like I say, on the job training, I think is most important for me. Starting in a small company, going to the Global Wrestling Federation, actually getting a chance to go to Japan, Korea. I tell you, I wouldn't have been the wrestler I became if it wasn't for those moments. I tell you, man, your style, it's definitely different. And it's definitely alluring. You get people to watch you. You get people to invest in you. Talk to me about the style of Sammy Guevara.
Man, I do a lot of crazy acrobatic things, but I feel like I'm a jack of all trades. For instance, I can do the high flying stuff, but I can mat wrestle with you. I can do the technical stuff. I can do the strong style. I don't like to go and put myself in just one category, but I would like to say that any category you put me in, I'm gonna do awesome.
I tell you, man, the one thing, people always, I never would imagine a dreamt, looking back on my career, that I would be known for the spinneroonie more so than anything in my career. It is stupid, right? But that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is always like the stupidest things. And for me, with Sammy Guevara, it's the tongue. You know what I mean? I'm serious. No, I'm serious, man. How much flack do you get about the tongue, sticking out? And what created that? What made you actually say, man, this is who I am?
So I just did it without even thinking on TV. And I was already doing it like leading up to AEW, just on like some independence. I don't know. I was sticking out the tongue and I just kept doing it. And then after that episode aired, I go online to like a barrage of just keep your tongue in your mouth. What is that? So I was like, well, it got him talking, so now I'm just gonna do it even more. Yeah.
No, man, I swear, man, it's always the stupidest stuff, man, that sticks out like a sore thumb. Brad, I know you're interested to get in there.
Yeah, I want to ask you, because I heard you obviously you trained at books, and there's been some great colorful characters who've come in and out of reality wrestling. But correct me if I'm wrong, your first match at reality wrestling or with Booker was it with Joey Jersey? Is this right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me about what you remember about your first match.
I remember, Book, you called me into your office, and I remember you told me like my cat almost died over here. No, I remember, Book, you called me into your office, and you were like, kid, you think you're ready for your first match? And it was probably super obvious then. I was very nervous, but I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. And I didn't know for sure if I was ready or not. But one thing you told me that stuck with me to this day is you said if the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to go out there and you're going to have a bad match, your day's going to be okay. If that's the absolute worst thing that's going to happen, you're just going to have a bad match, life's going to be okay. So I took a deep breath, and so we ended up doing the match. And I remember I was like a fan in the crowd, and actually like went to where the fans were getting tickets. They got like a fake ticket. Charmel gave me one, said I paid $0. And I remember I was so nervous. I just kept bending up the paper, like the little ticket over and over, just waiting. Jesus.
Yeah, right.
It looks, I can't even see outside. It's raining so bad. But no, then Joey, he carried me through the whole thing, and it was so much fun, man. I remember they were chanting like "We want Sammy" throughout the show, because after I got the win, I jumped over the barricade and ran away. It was such a fun match. I never got to actually watch it back. So, Book, if you have the footage, please send it.
Yeah. Well, I definitely get that to you, man. That's one thing about wrestling is I've been in that position before where I was in there with a guy who was much more experienced than I was. Guy just happened to be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, of course. but just like yourself with Jersey, all I had to do was just listen, man. All I had to do was just listen. And I always tell my young guys, when you get the keys, you better know when you drive it. You better know when to make a right turn or make a left turn, because, that veteran, he'll snatch those keys back real quick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you're going to be riding in the trunk. You know what I mean? So,
wide open, my mouth shut.
Yeah, exactly. So those moments, man, are definitely the most learning experiences that you're ever going to get in the business. So young guys out there listening to Sammy, always when you're in there with a veteran, just keep your ears open, and when you get that chance to get, I always say, get your stuff in. I usually say it a little different than that. You better do it. You better do it quick, man. But now, man, you're there. Houston, Texas, of course. Couple of days away. You there now, but the one thing I see that that you have that's really working in your favor, man. And that is having guys like, Matt Hardy, Christian, guys like Jericho there to kind of guide you through this storm. How important it is for AEW to have guys like, that trio I just.
Oh man, I think it's great. Dean Malenko's back there too. Jerry Lynn. It's just so cool because I've wrestled a lot of these guys, like the younger guys, on the independents, and so we all kind of came from the same place. And so to have guys who've been to super high levels on this business and be able to help us as much as they do, it means a lot, man. Especially having Jericho on my side through this whole thing, I feel very blessed. Anytime I have a question on something or what I think like might work for a promo, he's a text away or a phone call away to give me his thoughts, and I just think it's good, man. It's just gonna make us all better.
Yeah, definitely. How hard is it? Something I never had to worry about, but working within the social media world, like you say, as soon as you lick the tongue out one time, you open your timeline and it's full with people saying, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" How hard is it, for the young guys working today in the social media world? Not just working in the social media world, but being able to use social media to go out there and get themselves over.
Yeah, I mean, social media, it's a blessing and a curse. I feel like what I've learned over the past 2 years of being in AEW is just not to take anything to heart on social media. You can listen to it, you could see the criticism here and there, but I don't think any of it's really real. Of course, we love the love more than we love the hate.
Yeah.
Hey, you just got to have your core group of people. The social media is not going to pay your bills. I mean, well, the tweets won't pay your bills. Yeah. I know you're making that YouTube money.
You know it.
Too. But no, these comments, they're not gonna help you as much as your core group will help you. So just have people that you trust really, and that their opinions matter more than some Joe Blow telling you to go screw off and whatnot.
Yeah, I tell you, man, they hate me on social media. They
hate me some days, they love me some days.
No, that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Some days they love me. Like right now, talk with Sammy Guevara, my timeline gonna be nothing but love. You know what I mean? Yeah, Sammy on there. Oh, we love him. You know what I mean? So this for me, man, is awesome. Brad, go ahead, man.
Yeah, talking about AEW again being here on Wednesday in Houston, Texas. What do you think's been your biggest moment though thus far in AEW? Because you in what, just a little over a year, 2 years almost, you have had a lot of memorable moments. What do you think for you has stood out as, wow, I can't believe that happened?
Yeah, man, I feel like I've had a lot of moments as well. It's like even moments that like maybe weren't even supposed to happen. I tried to make the most out of any opportunity that was ever given to me. And that's what I've tried to do my entire career, from getting hit with a golf cart and trying to take it possible, to getting super kicked by Matt Jackson and folding up like a pretzel. But I think the biggest one would have to be a Double or Nothing this year, getting the win for the Inner Circle, keeping them together, and closing out a pay-per-view. That was a big moment. My girlfriend was right there in the front row, and she's been around almost the whole entire journey. She saw me wrestle here in Houston in front of 7 people to now be in front of 5,000 people closing out a pay-per-view. It was such a night I'll never forget. Awesome.
I tell you, I'm back to Houston, man. What can we expect, man? What can we expect from AEW? Because this is the first time Houston has ever had the AEW experience. So what can the Houstonians expect come Wednesday?
Oh, man. Well, Houston, luckily Sammy Guevara's on the card, so it's going to be something great. And I mean, Sting's wrestling for the first time in like, I don't know how many years on TNT. So that's going to be history right there. Jericho versus MJF. Jericho's got that in the bag. But, man, most importantly, man, I feel like we're all just going to go out and go crazy because, we were supposed to have this show before the whole pandemic. And now we're finally here. We're finally in Houston. And so we got to give these people something great. And I know I'm going to.
Boom. You heard that, guys. Wednesday, August 18th, Sting MJF, Sammy Guevara, the whole AEW crew will be in town. They even extended an invite to me, so I might step down there and see you, kid, and see what the reality of wrestling turned out, man. But I tell you, man, you are on the way, man. You're on the rise. I tell you, as far as Sammy Guevara, what's the ultimate goal for Sammy Guevara?
Man, I've said it since before I even started wrestling. It was to be the world champion. So, I gotta get the belt. Maybe I'll get it 5 times like you, 6 times like you. Gotta get it once, before I call it all.
Hey man, it's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen. Just keep doing what you do. Like me and Brad always say on the show, making these suckers bow down.
That's right.
Say, "Daddy, I don't want that." That's what I'm all about. But I just want to say thank you, bro, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of what you've become and what you're doing, and as well as the way you're representing. I really appreciate that. I always know that you are a role model, man. You got a lot of young people looking up to you, and I say young people aspire to be, what they see, and they see Sammy Guevara right now, so they're inspired to be you. I always know that right there, man. That is that's a hell of a responsibility, and that's coming from your sensei. Keep doing what you do, young man, and can't wait to see you on Wednesday.
Thank you so much. Life's such a trip, going for my first show, watching you and Ray for the world title on a SmackDown, wanting to do this, and then for you to tell me there's kids watching me the way I watched you. It's a trip.
Hey, man.
That anything can happen in
it's
life.
Real. Anything's possible. That's the way we do it, man. Hey, man, Sammy, thanks for giving me some time inside the Hall of Fame.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Boom, we out. Hey, guys, stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
What's up, this Booker T, 2-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out the Shine, checking out the Gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies, television, comedy, music, and more. This is The Collection. Now your host, the Boat, Brad Gilmore.
And she joins me right now. This is the host of the 9th Annual Reality Television Awards that goes down November the 17th on Out TV, monstersandcritic.com, and of course in the metaverse Real Mood TV. You can catch it at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern time. This woman is Hollywood royalty. She's been in the biggest blockbusters of all time, a household name. Welcome to the show, the incomparable Vivica A. Fox.
Wowzer, what a wonderful introduction. Thank you, Brad.
Well, thank you for joining the show. First off, we're going to talk about the Reality Television Awards. I'm excited to talk about this to you because I love reality TV, probably more than I should admit. However, how does it feel to own the name Vivica? And what I mean by that is whenever anyone says that name, you immediately have to say A. Fox after it. You've entered to the Cher conversation or the Madonna conversation. You own Vivica. How does that feel?
Gosh, it means that all of the hard work that I've done over the years has paid off. I have a good friend of mine by the name of Eva Marcel. She's like, girl, you're like a whole sentence. Vivica A. Fox, okay? So thank you for that.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, you've had a career that anybody getting into this industry, entertainment, would dream of. I mean, a part of classics that went the world round, sold hundreds of millions of dollars in box office sales, and also classics that people hold near and dear to their heart, whether that's a Set It Off or, so many in your pantheon. How does it feel when you're looking at your career right now? Because you still have more to go, obviously. But when you look at what you've been able to accomplish, it's got to be a dream fulfilled.
Well, it's rewarding, that's for sure. Like you said, I've got films that are always part of something special like soul food coming up for Thanksgiving. We're all about to celebrate Thanksgiving, and it's like soul food. You can always count on it to play. 4th of July, you can always count on Independence Day playing. Set It Off. People just love that. I got people walking up to me, Frankie gonna blow up the bank. So, and then they send me TikTok videos, doing my characters from my movies. And so it's a huge honor. For a moment, though, I have to say, when people started walking up to me or putting legend, at first I was kind of like, wait a minute, y'all, I still got some more to go. But it is a huge compliment. And so I just thank everyone that I'm still here and still able to do what I love to do.
Let's talk about hosting the Reality Television Awards. Again, that goes down November the 17th on Out TV, monstersandcritic.com, and in the metaverse, Real Mood TV.
Yes.
When you're hosting, okay, like what is our thought process here? Are we gonna kind of roast the crowd? Are we looking for comedy? Are we gonna keep it light and fluffy? Like where are you going with it right now?
It's a little bit of all of those things, to be very honest with you. That's the beauty of hosting. And the American Reality Television Awards are called the Artists. And like you said, they're going to be on November 17th. You're going to get some comedy. You're going to be surprised how funny your girl Vivica can be sometimes. I think people forget that, I can do comedy as well. I do a couple of skits. We've got this one skit, To the Deadliest Catch, that I kind of surprised myself that, my comedy chops were still in there. So we did that. And then I also did another skit with Dr. Pill Popper that was lovely. And then, we have wonderful moments of saluting those that have made a huge contribution to the reality world. Tiffany New York Pollard, is going to be inducted into the Artist Hall of Fame. So
wow.
We're going to turn people. We're going to be roasting people. You're going to get to see your girl Viv, do some skits. So it's going to be a fun show. And it's got tons of great stars from the world of reality that you're going to see presenting as well, too. And then, like you said, they just showed me this thing that you can also watch it in the metaverse. So Viv is going to be in the metaverse as a DJ, dancing, get my groove on. So it was really a fun experience. I love hosting. It's definitely a new chapter that has come into my life.
Yeah, I mean, it especially when you have the amount of colorful characters that you can have in the reality television world. There's a lot of subject matter that we can speak on and have fun with. But are you a consumer? Do you like the reality television? Are you a watcher?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I never thought I would get sucked into the world of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. I never thought that would happen to me. And I love checking out the Housewives just to see what they're going to be wearing and the amount of cleavage that's going to be going on. Now, I'm going to let y'all know something so I can get y'all tuning in that I had to put my Housewives cleavage on for y'all to tune in. So you'll be very happy. But they've been asking me to be a housewife for years, and I haven't given into that just yet.
You never know what's around the corner.
You never know what chapter may hit you. I mean, it's just amazing how reality TV has just totally taken over. I mean, some of the biggest stars that we have now is because reality television has allowed lots of folks to get exposure that wouldn't have happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, we were actually talking before you and I started discussing. I was talking to one of the publicists for the show, and you had something earlier. She said that was really interesting, that the stars of reality television have kind of replaced the stars of the soap opera in some ways. And I never considered that. But when you think about it, the biggest stars in the world, whether it be a Kim Kardashian on down, now are launched from the reality show.
Yeah. And you know what? And I commend, a lot of people try to hate on the Kardashians, but I commend them that they have taken their little show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and have created $1 billion franchise for almost each girl. Each girl is clocking dollars. You know what I'm saying? They clocking dollars. They've got hair. They've got makeup. I mean, I just heard the other day that Kim's about to incorporate one of the kids' names. So, reality world has provided a lot of opportunities for individuals that just, it's like sky's the limit. It really is.
Yeah, and Kim Kardashian now helping people get out of prison, doing all kinds of great things in the world too, right?
Absolutely.
Off her platform. It's incredible.
Yes.
It really
and
is.
then, let's look at Cardi B. Cardi B started off, did one season of Love and Hip Hop, and now she's like one of the biggest rap stars in the world. So reality television did its things. I never thought I would see the day where we didn't have as many soap operas, and it's all about the housewives.
Well, because you started in the soaps, right? Didn't that where some of your early
Yes.
roles came from?
Yes, I started off on Days of Our Lives. And then from there, I went to Generations, which was the first fully integrated soap opera. Then from there, Young and the Restless. And Young and the Restless, I was discovered by the producer's wife, who was at home, and they were having a hard time finding the character Jasmine to play alongside Will Smith. And the producer's wife, Bill Fay, she was at home. She's like, I think I saw a girl today that you guys should check out, because I couldn't get an audition at the time because I was just on Young and the Restless. And I remember asking, because I played this date from hell with Will on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I was like, we're both tall, we'll match up great. And then finally, because the wife was at home and saw me, I got an opportunity to audition. 6 auditions later, I was in the classic Independence Day.
Well, can you then settle something for me about Independence Day? I've heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true or not, regarding your character. You went through these auditions, you get cast, and
Right.
I heard, like, if you didn't nail it on the first day, they had someone to replace you already?
Right. You better have done your homework and research on Vivica Fox. I love you for that. That is a true story.
Wow.
At the premiere, the after party, we were sitting there having drinks, and the director was just telling, hey, we made it here, great premiere. And he said, Vivica, did you know if you weren't good after the first day of filming, we were going to fire you? I was like, no, I did not, but thank you for letting me know that. But he said what happened was, at their first choice, at the time she was working on a television show and she was unavailable. And they said that her people called the first day and was like, hey, she's available. And they're like, we're filming our lead, Vivica Fox today. And they were like, okay, well, if she sucks in the dailies, we'll just recast. That's how much money they had. That they just could have wasted a whole day and started over again. Thank God they said you lit up the screen, and they were like, nope, that's our Jasmine.
It's incredible to hear that, and to think of how different the movie could have been, because you and Will in that movie, perfectly cast is how you could describe it. It just made so much sense. It was so iconic and legendary and electrifying on the screen. So you didn't think about this, but you did know this could be your big break, right? Like, I got to nail this.
Absolutely. I remember, like I said, begging my agent to audition. And this movie, when it was going around Hollywood, that they were casting it, was like the biggest thing out there. Independence Day started the trend of must-see popcorn summer blockbusters. We were the first movie. We made $800 million worldwide. Yes. Okay. I hate to break out them receipts, but it was there for me.
Gonna make me sweat my perm out with that number. God, yeah. 800 million.
800 million worldwide. And I remember I was in Toronto at the time filming my critically acclaimed movie Booty Call. And it was sold out around the clock, 24 hours. Like, you couldn't get a ticket because we were going to go see it. I was filming with Jamie Foxx, Tommy Davis, and Tamala Jones. And it was sold out around the clock.
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. I don't mean to put you, this isn't me putting you on the spot, but I just want to give like a comparison between 2 iconic people that you worked with, that you have intimate experience with, because you talk about your comedy chops that you're going to show off here at the Reality TV Awards, again, going down November the 17th. Make sure you go check it out on Out TV, monstersandcritic.com, in the metaverse, Real Mood TV. You work with one of the greatest comedic minds of all time, Larry David, on Curb Your Enthusiasm, which your season, where your cast of characters, you come in with JB and everybody in Curb, is the best season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's the funniest. It lasts it's so great. I go back and I watch it all the time. What was that experience like? Because on Curb, for people who don't know, there's not a script. There's an outline of what the scene's about, and you know where A is, you know where B is, but you got to kind of make it up on the way there. Was that a challenge for you as an actress?
Absolutely. Are you kidding? You're your own writer, producer, and director. And let me tell you something about LD, Larry David. He is brutal. He will look at you and go, that ain't funny. No. Come on up with something else. And you have to put on your big girl boots and not take it personal. But no, there's never a script. You walk in and there's basically what we would call in show business a synopsis. So it'll come in like The Family Today, decided to use recycled toilet paper instead of Charmin. Create a scene. So he walks in and was like, yo, so like, what's up? Y'all bringing in some other kind of toilet paper, and we just go from there. And JB Smooth was awesome to work with. So it just made you put on your big girl boots and use your comedy skills, because things you may think are funny aren't. As I
I was going to ask, though, how does he compare with, because I think Larry David's such a creative genius. When you look at what he did with Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, to be that funny for that long, people don't realize Curb's been on since 2000 and it's still going on. That's 22-year run. You don't hear about that. Another icon from the 90s who continues to put out high quality material is Quentin Tarantino, who you got to work with in 2 films, Kill Bill 1 and 2. Right. Both guys are known for their idiosyncrasies. Can you compare the two of them? Did they work similarly, or was Quentin a little more hands-off, more hands-on?
No, Quentin was very hands-on. Are you kidding? We trained for 6 months to do that fight scene. I mean, I literally went from like a size 8'10" down to 2, because that's all we did was work out. I was like, are we training for the damn Olympics? What's happening? But it was great. When I saw myself on camera, on screen, I had a special booty light.
I read about this. You had a booty light just for you. I had a booty light.
He says, listen, I've got Vivica Fox from Booty Call, and I didn't work hard to keep that booty tight and right. Absolutely, Vivica, come on through here, and we gon' twice. I had 2 great booty lights. When I went into the front room and the little girl and the bus came in, and then when I kicked her through the door, the great kick through the door. If you go back and look at that and put it in slow-mo, my booty is vicious. It's like
I love it. But he loves his words too. Quentin loves his words, whereas Larry, you improv the words. Quentin didn't let you improv, right?
No. I mean, it's literally like working with 2 different genres. I mean, because Quentin, he's very descriptive when he writes. Like say this, I'll make this quick. Uma walks into the room after she stabbed me and walks across the cereal that spilled on, that I tried to shoot her through the kaboom box. And you can hear the crackling, crack, crack, crack. She wipes her knife. You feel the thing go across it. He describes every single moment. So with LD, you get a synopsis. You gonna have to come up and fill in the blanks.
But improving for you is not something that you're foreign to, because in the F. Gary Gray film Set It Off, didn't you improv one of the great lines from the movie? Is this true? You improv it off the cuff?
I'm strictly dickly.
Was that an improv?
You think I would say that, did you?
I didn't know if you'd go for it. I didn't want to put it out there, but if you wanted to say that, was that an improv?
Yes, it was. He loved it. Oh, and then there was another one that I did when I said, you didn't ask me if I was thirsty, sister. I came up with that. But, we really worked as a family when we did Set It Off, to be honest with you, because the movie changed a lot. F. Gary Gray, hats off to him. Like I said, I've been so fortunate to work, like you said, some of the most amazing directors and co-stars. F. Gary Gray, he said, I will not have people come and see Set It Off and think it's a comedy. I want them to walk out and be moved, to know the motivation as to why these 4 women decided to rob banks, and mission accomplished. But I've worked with the best of the best.
Well, again, you can see all these talents on display November the 17th at the Reality Television Awards. Again, Out TV, monstersandcritic.com. And of course, in the metaverse, which is another crazy thing that you can see this on, in the metaverse, Real Mood TV, where you can see the avatar of Vivica A. Fox. Vivica, it's just been an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. And I won't say Hollywood, I won't say legend anymore, but I'll say Hollywood royalty. How does that sound?
Yes, darlings. Check out your girl Vivica A. Fox hosting The Artist November 17th on Out TV. Check it out.
Of inducting Goldberg into the Hall of Fame, a family man who truly loves his wife and his son. And I will go back to something I told you in private in the locker room. There's never been a Hall of Fame speech where a man exposed his own inner self to such a degree that he brought me to tears expressing his love for his wife, like you did in your Hall of Fame speech. It was the most wonderful expression of love on a public forum I have ever seen in any sport or any form of entertainment. And it's a benchmark that I have assigned to Goldberg to at least try to reach. And he won't be able to, because no one can. It was just awe-inspiring. And to this day, when I think of the Hall of Fame, I go back to your speech as the watermark for everyone to aspire to achieve.
You know, for that moment for me, Paul, and I was just talking to Bob Backlund just yesterday, he was talking to me about the same thing about that speech. And we as performers, you know, professional wrestlers, you know, for many, many years, we expose ourselves to the fans only in character form. You know, and at the Hall of Fame, you know, that moment was real to me. It was the first time I think the fans ever got a chance to actually see Booker T. Huffman Jr. You know, go out there and, you know, from the heart and speak, you know, to them, because this journey with the fans, this journey with my wife, you know, and my kids, you know, allowing me to go out and do what I do, has been so awesome, you know, and to have that moment, a lot of us didn't have a chance to have that moment. We lost so many soldiers along the way who didn't get that chance to have that moment on stage. So I definitely want to pay homage to, you know, everyone, but most definitely speak from the heart in that situation.
It moved me. It moves me to the stage just thinking about it. It was the best Hall of Fame speech I've ever heard. And not just for WWE. It was the best Hall of Fame speech I've ever heard.
I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it.
I appreciated being able to listen to it. It was magnificent.
It's like, you know what, for me, it's like one of my greatest matches, you know, I've had. A lot of my great matches, I didn't go back and watch them. I've never watched them before or anything like that. And I've never watched that Hall of Fame speech. Even to this day, I've never gone back and watched it. I'm going to watch it one day. Maybe I haven't watched it because I don't want to break down.
You know what? You lived it. Yeah. You lived it. Yeah. You meant it. Yeah. You said it. Yeah. You experienced it. Why go back? Why go back and revisit it?
Yeah.
You live it in your heart, and you know what? You live it and experience it in your heart every day. Now that you've expressed it to her, and now I'm sure, just having the short amount of time I've spent around your wife, I'm sure she lives up to that billing every day.
Oh, why do you think I call her my queen? She is definitely truly my queen. Paul, you got a big night coming up at WrestleMania. Let's switch gears.
So I have been told, sir.
The Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar taking on Roman Reigns. This is the rematch, pretty much. I mean, we know what happened 3 years ago. Unexpected entry from Seth Rollins just messed everything up. But this time, you know, mano a mano, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, a more experienced Roman Reigns, a more mature Roman Reigns, a Roman Reigns who I think is ready to step up to the challenge. You know, what's your thoughts going into this big matchup at WrestleMania?
Roman Reigns is the right guy in the right place, unfortunately, at the wrong time. And if Brock Lesnar were not part of the WWE equation, Roman Reigns would have captured the title, whichever the top title would be, 3 years ago, and we would be sitting here today discussing the 1,000-day reign of Roman Reigns. But unfortunately, Roman Reigns lives in the era of Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns lived in the era of Bruno Sammartino. We wouldn't be talking about the Sammartino era. We'd be talking about the Roman Reigns era. And the same goes for the Backlund era would never have existed if Roman Reigns was in his prime at that time. Stone Cold and The Rock would have been supporting players for Roman Reigns in the Attitude Era, which would have been called the Roman Empire era. John Cena would not have had a 16-year run on top. John Cena would have been a supporting player for what would now be the tail end of the Roman Reigns era. Roman Reigns is entering his prime. He is the Samoan badass. He is the single best talent that has ever come up and probably the greatest box office attraction of this or any other generation 4 consecutive WrestleMania main events. But Hulkamania wouldn't have existed if Roman Reigns went up against Hulk Hogan. Ric Flair would never have had his run in Charlotte had Roman Reigns decided not to go north of the Carolinas. But Roman Reigns is up against Brock Lesnar, who disrupts the status quo, who is head and shoulders above everyone else. And unfortunately for Roman Reigns, that includes our friend, the son of Sika, the nephew of Appa, and the anointed next big thing. Roman Reigns is a great athlete, a wonderful performer, and I'm sure he will take this loss this Sunday with great dignity.
Do you, I would be remiss if I didn't speak on this. Do you think Brock Lesnar could be, thinking too far ahead? I mean, the news came out, Dana White just mentioned that Brock Lesnar will be returning to the UFC. I mean, that right there has to be, thoughts in Brock Lesnar's mind. What's next? Not what's now, what's next.
Well, the reason why Dana White doesn't have a time frame on Brock's fight is because Brock has made no commitments past April 8th, not even a WWE. Brock grew up on a farm in Webster, South Dakota. He milked the cows at 5 a.m. He had to get the eggs from the chickens at 7 or 8 a.m. When he was milking the cows at 5 a.m., he never thought, okay, after this, I have to get the eggs from the chickens. No, he milked the cows. He got all the milk he could from those cows. Then he addressed getting the eggs from the chickens. Now, when he got the eggs from the chickens, he knew that at 11 o'clock, he had to take all the hay and move it from the barn to the truck. But he wasn't thinking about the hay at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning when he got the eggs from the chickens. No, he was thinking about getting the eggs from the chickens. He accomplished that task, and then he went on to move the hay. Brock Lesnar is task-oriented. There's a reason why his contract ends on April 8th this Sunday. If he's successful, he will move on. I'm sure he will re-sign some sort of deal with WWE. If he's not successful, he's leaving. He's moving on. He's doing something else. He's never going to stay around to be number 2. Why? Because he's task-oriented. And the task is to walk in this Sunday and put on the single greatest main event on the single greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Just call him Taskmaster.
Well, but I wanted to ask you real quick to go back to Goldberg. You're inducting him in the Hall of Fame tonight. How was that, run last year with Brock Lesnar, Goldberg? You were there ringside. You saw it all happen. How was it for you?
Nerve-wracking because those two boys just like to collide. I mean, if you watch the match over, there was not one punch, not one kick thrown. Nobody got whipped into the ropes. Nobody took a turnbuckle. It was just impact.
No drop down tackle leapfrog.
Oh, impact on a level that most people would not be comfortable either giving nor accepting. So I loved the match, usually because when there's impact involving Brock, he's the last one standing. But listen, Goldberg he's a game day player. And, you talk about a Clint Eastwood coming back as an older man to just kick everybody's ass. Goldberg's no joke. And once that bell rings, it's like the football whistle happening. All bets are off. Yeah, he's one tough son of a bitch. So it was very, I'm a Jew. We worry just as part of our bloodline.
Yeah.
To the point where, I could be Brock's ultimate warrior. And I worry about everything. I worry about, as I said on Monday, him slipping on a banana peel on the way to the ring. So that was really nerve-wracking.
What was crazy though is people going into WrestleMania last year, they're like, oh, how good is Brock Lesnar Goldberg going to be? And it stole the show that night. I mean, most people said that was the best match on the card.
I thought it was too. I mean, Goldberg actually stepped up. He trained for it. And I always say, there again, preparation is the only luck that you're ever going to have in this lifetime. Life is the hardest thing you're ever going to deal with. So be ready for it. In closing, Paul, you've done so much. You ran your own company. You've created so many stars. Brock Lesnar, you led his career to where it is right now today. I just got word from Macaulay Culkin that you are now an ordained minister.
Oh yes. He's gonna marry someone at the Macaulay Culkin wedding.
Well, no, I'm gonna perform the ceremony to get that. I'm not marrying anybody.
Well, he's not. Yeah, you're
Okay.
marrying.
Booker
You're
set
marrying
the
them.
standard in terms of a wonderful marriage, and now that I've seen that it's reached perfection, again, like Brock Lesnar, I never want to be number 2. I don't want to have the second best marriage in this business. So I have. Is somebody wrapping you up?
No.
You don't wrap up Booker
No,
T.
he's not wrapping me up.
Is that guy Charlie? Hey, Charlie, you don't wrap up Booker. Okay, you understand? He's going to take. In fact, I'm staying here longer just to piss you off and to honor Booker. I am performing the ceremony for Macaulay Culkin's brother.
Yeah. So how'd that come about?
I don't know. I got roped into this one. I actually worked on a movie that during a time of my life that I don't know what the hell I was thinking. That at the time, Macaulay's girlfriend, who was Mila Kunis, she was in the movie, so Macaulay was hanging around the set. Just hanging around. He's Macaulay Culkin, man. He's a cultural icon, and he's just hanging around the set. He says, "Hey, man, let's just go out to dinner one night." Huh? Yeah, cool. So we all went out to dinner, and he's a fascinating dude. I mean, and what a different life he's had. And we just sat there and shot the poop for 4 or 5 hours. It was a great time, and it was the only time we ever went out. And I gave him my number, and I just said, "Listen, call me anytime." And and he gave me his number. And we never called each other for about 15 years. And all of a sudden, we're coming into Mania week, and he calls me and he says, "Hey man, would you want to marry my brother?" And I was like, "Well, now listen, I don't know if you realize, not that it's 2018, I'm heterosexual, and there's nothing wrong with if your brother's not. But hey, listen, to each his own." He goes, "Oh no, that's not what I meant." Okay, well, what did you mean? And then he started explaining it to me, and I said, "You know what? Here's something I've never done." And I'm always looking for that cherry to pop.
Yeah, most definitely.
So I just so it was a bunch of licenses to sign and get a hold of, and I went for it. So I guess I'll do it, and I'm sure by the time Sunday rolls around, it'll be the one regret of WrestleMania weekend that I had.
I can't wait to see that shot. I can't wait to see Reverend Paul doing his thing.
That's right.
One time only, right?
Oh, that's it.
One time only, man. Hey, Paul, I want to thank you for coming. Hey, good luck at WrestleMania. Good luck with Brock Lesnar. Hopefully Brock Lesnar pulls it out. Hopefully Brock Lesnar stick around here in the WWE a little while longer. I definitely want to see that. But if not, we move on to greener pastures. But I thank you
An
for
honor
coming in.
and a pleasure, always.
Always, thank you.
Sir,
Thank you,
Paul
sir.
Heyman.
If you're sitting next to him, you must have earned your spot.
Oh,
I
man,
appreciate
he's been
it.
with me since he was 18 years old, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. He's my boy.